Imagine a world where your entertainment choices were not a click away, but a drive, a pilgrimage to a brightly lit sanctuary filled with cinematic dreams. Now imagine that sanctuary, your local video store, becoming a battleground. Between the late 80s and early 2000s, America witnessed an undeclared yet ferociously fought war for your living room. A conflict so cutthroat, so brutal, that it left a landscape of shuttered dreams and economic wreckage in its wake. Why does nobody talk about the forgotten video store wars anymore? To truly grasp the magnitude of this forgotten conflict, we have to rewind to a time before streaming, before even DVDs were a common household item. It was the golden age of VHS, a glorious era where Friday night rituals revolved around a visit to the video store. Picture it, rows upon rows of movie posters, the smell of popcorn and plastic, the eager anticipation of finding that perfect film. Independent video stores dotted every neighborhood, each with its own quirky personality, a curation of cult classics, foreign films, and blockbuster hits. These were more than just businesses. They were cultural hubs, community gathering spots where recommendations were shared, and friendships forged over shared cinematic tastes. But into this idyllic scene, a behemoth was beginning to stir, a force so powerful it would irrevocably reshape the industry: Blockbuster Video. Launched in 1985, Blockbuster wasn't just another video store, it was a revolution in retail. Its brightly lit, standardized stores, massive inventories, and seemingly limitless resources began to devour market share. Their approach was simple yet devastatingly effective: scale, standardization, and aggressive expansion. They offered thousands of titles, open 7 days a week, often with multiple copies of new releases, a luxury most independent stores simply couldn't afford. This wasn't just competition, it was an existential threat. The first shots fired in what would become a brutal, prolonged struggle for survival in the burgeoning world of home entertainment. The early skirmishes were subtle, almost imperceptible. Blockbuster would open a new store, often strategically placed near a successful independent, then flood the market with new releases, pricing them just low enough to draw away customers. For independents, this was a death knell. They couldn't match Blockbuster's buying power, nor could they afford to stock the sheer volume of new releases. As Blockbuster's empire grew, their tactics became bolder, more aggressive. They began to leverage their immense purchasing power to strike exclusive deals with movie studios, locking out smaller competitors from getting new releases for a crucial period. Imagine rushing to your favorite local store, eager to rent the latest summer hit, only to find it wasn't available because Blockbuster had an exclusive window. This wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a strategic chokehold designed to suffocate the independent scene. The smaller chains and mom-and-pop shops fought back with ingenuity and passion. They specialized in niche genres, offered personalized recommendations, cultivated loyal customer bases, and even started offering unique services like film appreciation clubs or late-night movie marathons. Some even formed regional alliances, pooling resources to try and compete. But Blockbuster's war machine was relentless. They acquired smaller chains, expanded internationally, and even began dabbling in gaming rentals, transforming themselves into a true entertainment juggernaut. By the mid-90s, the landscape was undeniable. Blockbuster was king. Yet, even as they dominated, new threats were emerging on the horizon. Threats that Blockbuster, in its monolithic arrogance, initially dismissed. The internet was becoming a household fixture, and with it, nascent online rental services began to appear. Remember Netflix? In its earliest incarnation, Netflix wasn't a streaming giant, it was a DVD by mail service, a seemingly innocuous concept that Blockbuster deemed too niche, too inconvenient to ever truly challenge their brick-and-mortar empire. This hubris, this inability to see beyond their physical stores, would prove to be one of Blockbuster's most fatal flaws. They were so focused on crushing the visible, tangible competition that they completely missed the digital revolution slowly gathering momentum in the background, a new breed of silent assassins preparing to strike. What they discovered next changed everything, though perhaps too late. By the late 90s, the video store wars entered a new, more desperate phase. The DVD arrived, offering superior picture quality and sound, and suddenly, the vast VHS libraries of every store seemed obsolete. This was a critical juncture. Blockbuster, despite its size, was slow to fully embrace the DVD transition, hampered by the sheer cost of converting its monumental inventory. Meanwhile, independent stores, often more agile, adapted quicker, recognizing the potential of the new format. But the real game changer was Netflix. Without the burden of physical stores and overhead, Netflix's DVD by mail model offered unparalleled convenience. No late fees, a massive selection, and movies delivered directly to your doorstep. Blockbuster, waking up to the threat, tried to adapt. They launched their own online rental service, Blockbuster Online, and even introduced a hybrid model allowing subscribers to return online rentals to physical stores. But it was too little, too late. Their corporate culture, steeped in a brick-and-mortar mindset, struggled to innovate at the pace required. The war was no longer about shelf space. It was about convenience, selection, and ultimately, a fundamental shift in how people consumed media. Then came the true apex predator, streaming. With faster internet speeds, the concept of a physical disc became quaint, unnecessary. Netflix again led the charge, transitioning from DVD by mail to online streaming, offering an instant, on-demand library that pulverized the remaining advantages of any physical rental store. Blockbuster, stubbornly clinging to its past, still saw its future in physical media, even as its revenue plummeted and stores began to close by the hundreds. The final devastating blow wasn't a direct assault, but an evolution of technology that rendered the entire concept of a video store obsolete. The war wasn't won by a competitor in the traditional sense. It was won by progress itself, leaving giants like Blockbuster as relics in a fast-changing world, their business model crumbling under the weight of innovation they failed to embrace. To this day, we may never fully comprehend the scale of economic destruction and cultural shift that marked the end of the video store era. What was lost wasn't just a business model, it was a sense of community, a tactile experience, the thrill of discovery found among physical shelves. The forgotten video store wars remind us of the brutal realities of market competition, the relentless march of technological progress, and the dangers of complacency. It's a cautionary tale for any industry, a stark reminder that even the biggest empires can fall if they fail to adapt. The ghost of Blockbuster, once a titan, now serves as a monument to what happens when you underestimate the silent digital revolution unfolding around you. So next time you're scrolling through endless streaming options, take a moment to remember the fluorescent lit aisles, the popcorn-scented air, and the fierce forgotten battles fought for your right to a Friday night movie. If you want more untold corporate histories and the mysteries behind their rise and fall, the next video explores the true story behind the rise and swift decline of high-end home audio in the early 2000s, and why it disappeared almost overnight.